Hey guys, it's Monday, 8:12 p.m. on September 17th, 2018. And I've come across this video clip and I almost uploaded it to YouTube a couple of days ago. But it didn't really start clicking as to why I should or how I could put it into perspective. But the more I've thought about it over the last couple of days, I have had a handful of observations. And you guys, look, if I could put together a video like some of the really good ones out there, like Face Like the Sun or Truth Stream Media, I would do it. For this particular subject, I would do it. But I'm not equipped to doing that. This information needs to get out there quickly because I don't know how much time we have left to actually address what I found, you guys. But I am just one person who's actually used her brain over the course of the media fiasco in the reporting of the stupid Hurricane Florence, which isn't a hurricane. And if you're not familiar with my channel, let me explain to you what I did. Over the last week, I have literally tracked every single NOAA bulletin, okay, every single one of the National Hurricane Center's announcements of what the longitude and latitude was for every time they did a measurement of this alleged hurricane. And I went to the buoys and I measured to see, based on the trajectory and the lines of the radius of this eye of this hurricane and so forth, could I find any winds anywhere that substantiated Hurricane Florence? Why would I do that? Well, because after Hurricane Harvey last year, you guys, it became pretty apparent that there were some anomalies. Okay, now maybe I'm a little slow on the uptake here because I'm thinking that maybe this dates back all the way to Hurricane Katrina or maybe even before that. I don't know when this all started, but we've got some pretty freaky things that have happened in our weather and some pretty anomalous news reportings, especially of the hurricanes that I've traced since Hurricane Harvey. Now, I didn't trace Harvey, but I started noticing immediately afterwards for storms like Hurricane Irma that was supposed to be coming all the way up through the Bahamas, you guys. Guess what? There were no winds recorded on any of the wind speed instruments. Now, that's how you define a hurricane. So if the very buoys that our tax dollars pay for out in the middle of the ocean aren't detecting that there's a hurricane there, how is a hurricane being registered? If the very airports that are in Wilmington aren't registering the hurricane strength winds that are being reported on the news, how are we getting the news? Where's the news coming from and why? Well, you guys, here's the deal. The bottom line is, and I'm just going to give this to you really quick. The bottom line is that there was no hurricane there. You can go through the aerial view of this area, but you're not going to find any damage. This is propaganda. This is when the news is actually working for the government to make you think something and report something that isn't actually there. That's a lie. That is, you guys, that was the Smith-Munn Act used to protect us from that until about 2012. That was repealed. The law that protected us from our government using the news as agents of propaganda was repealed in 2012, which means all bets are off. Our government can lie to us about anything using the media, and the media is obviously complicit. Because here's just a stupid example where it says aerial view of damage. You guys aren't going to see any damage here. You can play this until you're blue in the face.
Topsail, but
this is topsail. This is on the coast of North Carolina. You guys can go through video after video after video and try to find some damage of the shore of North Carolina. You're not going to find it. There's not even standing water. There's a puddle. They will show you guys a single puddle here. Okay? A puddle. But all the docks, all the roofs, there's no hurricane that came and hit here. All right? And then you're going to go to, and I will show you here that this particular interview with Alan Clemens, links will be in the description for this, but he says that South Carolina, Myrtle Beach is just fine. You know, there are 45,000 people without power, but based on the interviews, the power was shut off before the storm hit. The power was shut off on Thursday. The storm didn't even come through till Friday. And it wasn't that big of a storm. Then I will put links in the description for you guys to go watch this interview here with the state of North Carolina's governor, who mysteriously decides that it's important for him to not have these particular counties be the ones under the FEMA disaster relief. No. You guys, it's all the counties on the inside of land. This only shows you once again that what we were dealing with here was not a hurricane. The hurricane would have dissipated once it hit land. But this, you guys, and it would have damaged the land here from Wilmington, which is fine, and in Myrtle Beach, which is fine, all along the coast that I've just showed you, fine. Everything's fine there. No hurricane hit here. But for some reason, all this area was flooded. Well, you guys, so that makes me want to just put into summary form very quickly for you what this guy points out here. And I don't like MSNBC better than any other news outlet, you guys. And if I could make a video on this, explaining this in great detail, like some of those 9/11 videos do, you guys, I wish somebody would use the information that I have here and do it for me, because I can't make a video that well, but I can show you what you need to see. Listen to this.
To sell the hurricane the way he sells a condo. All right, President, is he does seem to sell the hurricane the way he sells a condo. All right, I mean, I just like, look, and I don't know why he does that. Take a listen.
So he just said that the president sells a hurricane like he sells a condo. And you guys, you know what? He's exactly right. I don't know who this guy is. I don't like mainstream media. I don't even have a television. But in this clip, he's exactly right. And then the president, let's listen to what the president says.
They say it's about as big as they've seen coming to this country, and certainly to the East Coast, as they've ever seen.
Who is the they? Is the they NOAA, our National Oceanic Administrator's Office or whatever? You guys, they're the ones who were lying. They are the ones who put out the bulletins that I could actually trace their information by their own data points and show there was no hurricane coming. So why did our president sell us a hurricane like he sells a condo? Let's listen to some more.
We'll handle it. Get out of its way. Don't play games with it. It's a big one. Maybe as big as they've seen. And tremendous amounts of water. We're fully prepared. Food, medical, everything you can imagine, we are ready.
So who's the we? Who's the we that he's talking about? Is he partnered with the states in North Carolina? Has he partnered with the states in South Carolina? No, actually, he hasn't. So what's the real problem here? Well, you guys, I want you to think back to 2005, when President Bush was made to be a complete idiot, which he was an idiot. I'm not saying he wasn't, but he was made to be a particular idiot for Hurricane Katrina. Do you remember? Everybody blamed George Bush for what happened in Hurricane Katrina without actually realizing that you guys were being played. You were being played by a dealt race card and some unconstitutional knowledge. You guys are complete idiots if you don't know that our Constitution does not establish for the military and the president to be involved in the state's affairs, unless the states actually ask for the military's help, which they didn't. They didn't. And that whole fiasco was orchestrated so that over problem-reaction solution, which is called the Hegelian dialectic, over time, states would come begging for federal intervention in these crises. And you know what, you guys? They failed to manifest the crisis, but they were definitely, as the president said here, we, who's the they? I don't know. The government? Who's the we? I don't know. The military? Who does he represent, you guys? He's certainly not representing the states. So he's got to be talking about the government and the military. And sure enough, he was. This little scene clip on national television was seen by 378,000 people, and I doubt very many of them paid actually any attention, because there aren't people out in the streets with pitchforks and guns overthrowing the military. But they should be, based on what is said in this particular interview with the Pentagon. You guys, we have big problems here. We got really big problems. Let's take a listen to how the Pentagon that has absolutely no business in storms, in the weather. Why is our military giving a briefing on Hurricane Florence? You guys, I don't know. I get so upset about this. This is why I wish somebody else would put the puzzle pieces together and go out there and make a really good video to explain to people why this circumvents our constitutional, the constitutional authority that's allocated to the military, and why this is such an egregious breach of the Constitution, because it doesn't seem like people quite get that these days. But let me just play this clip for any of you out there who have half a brain to understand this.
Sort of the scope of the storm, and specifically, one of the issues that has come up in previous storms and other disasters is this DOD waiting for states to ask for something that the military knows they should be asking for, and they're not asking for it yet.
Okay, so now what she's talking about is the Hegelian setup, the problem that has been positioned since Hurricane Katrina, where the DOD, the brave, knowledgeable, insightful military branch of our government can watch and see what states need and just sit back and hold their hands behind their back. What a big problem that is. How is the military going to address that this time, Mr. Military Man? That's what she just asked. She's making an allusion to the failed military assistance that the poor, stupid states weren't able to sustain or request in time. So what is the Pentagon? Literally, you guys, this is the military branch of our government giving a press release about a hurricane that doesn't even exist, a hurricane that was a lie from the beginning to the end. Why is the Pentagon giving a press briefing about a hurricane? Well, here's your answer, you guys. This is in a nutshell. It's all summed up in 2 sentences.
Or asking for it quickly enough. How are you addressing what has been sort of a perpetual problem?
Well, first I'll say Secretary Mattis's guidance to me is clear. We are anticipating the needs. We are moving forward under our own authorities to be able.
We are anticipating the needs, and we, the Pentagon, are moving forward on their own authority. You guys, if I could make a really good video, what I would do is I would use those sound effects where it makes it sound like brakes are hitting really fast, so it's going on a car. I would do that sound effect right now because that's what needs to be done. See, I'm afraid that most of the American public does not understand what I've just played here for you. I've just demonstrated, you guys, that there's been no hurricane. I've just demonstrated that the Smith-Mundt Act was repealed and that the government can use propaganda against us. And I've just given you the reason for it. The Pentagon has just announced a day before this hurricane hit, that they were going to act on their own authority. Now let me show you some other details here that I think this is pretty interesting. If you go to search that clip that I just played for you, you might stumble across the Washington Post's upload of that, where it's only 19 minutes and 4 seconds long. But what I played for you was from NBC News. That's 29 minutes and 54 seconds long. You wonder what the what the Washington Post edited out of those, what 10 minutes they edited out? They edited out the 10 minutes that I just played for you, the clip with the Pentagon actually saying that they were going to move forward with their own authority. Why do you think, you guys, that the president was telling us how prepared this we? Who is this we? It's the same people, it's the same we that Q-Anon represents. The we, you guys, is the military branch of our government. And I know, and this is somewhere I have to be calm, because I've been watching this Q-Anon phenomena unfold with the same ferociousness that the Antifa phenomena unfolded last year. It's like a wildfire of people that are completely brain dead. But instead of being leftist brain deads, they're right-wing brain deads. They're both going off the cliff of overthrowing the government, and neither one of them having any understanding of what they're actually doing. The Q-Anon phenomena, you guys, has now got, in case you're unfamiliar with that, it has now got people who think that they love the Constitution, who think that they're going to make America great again, which would be re-establishing the Constitution, but they think that by killing the Constitution, that they're actually making America great again. Let me just point out the tomfoolery here, you guys, and get to the cut to the chase. We have people who consider themselves, quote unquote, truthers, who are applauding the Pentagon's use of unauthorized force to detain people under military tribunal, sealed indictments, and treat them as treasonous. American citizens. You guys, they are actually applauding the fact that there are 51,000 names of individuals who are under sealed indictment and are going to be treated under a military tribunal. What I've just laid out for you guys is a military coup of the U.S. government underway right now. A military coup. And it's been going on since September 11th, 2001. You guys, pretty soon you're not going to be able to travel without a government federal ID. You can't get on an airplane right now without the government federal security in place scanning you. When are we going to stop this government from getting involved in everything? Do we really want the Pentagon to act on their own authority? Are you QAnon idiots really certain that you want to have sealed indictments used against individual citizens of this United States? I honestly, you guys, I hope that what I'm bringing forward to you guys is going to be registered by one of you young video dudes that can use the information that I've pulled together to demonstrate that this hurricane was a lie. They've repealed the Smith-Mundt Act. Our Pentagon is going in under their own authority. And it just so happened that the weather manipulation tools that they tried to get this hurricane going, which I also demonstrate in my videos, they failed. By grace of God, you guys, we were spared from whatever the president and his Pentagon are trying to unleash on the American public. But they won't fail for long. And unless the United States citizens have any clue of what their Constitution actually says, and actually puts their foot down and say, you know what, maybe the NDAA Act to detain citizens indefinitely without being charged isn't something we really want to do. Maybe 51,000 sealed indictments, you guys, is going to make it so that you guys wake up someday and all your favorite YouTubers are disappeared. Because the criteria for persecuting a treasonous person, you guys, is going against the interests of the state. And what I've just done is expose to you the interest of the state. I hope you guys get that. I hope people understand this. And I welcome people to use my information from my videos to please put these pieces together in a way that will be of clear. You guys probably have to teach people what the Constitution was about and then show them how it's being overthrown here. I mean, I'm really frustrated with all these QAnon people who sit there and think that they really, oh, we're going to make America great again. You guys cannot make America great again by killing the thing that made it great in the first place. And the entire reason we have a Constitution is to limit the government that you are applauding to take over more authority than they deserve. Military tribunals, sealed indictments, you guys, is an overreach of federal authority. And I cannot believe you people are so stupid to not understand and not see that that is exactly what is happening here. It's a military coup of our government. And if you guys don't wake up, we're all going to be in big freaking trouble.